I've got buried in the garden.
Yes.
There was a programme on television last night about gardens in Devonshire and the things you could dig up in old cottage gardens.
Yes, out there, but there's all sorts, yeah.
And of course, before the Second World War, everyone who could kept their own pigs and chickens and provided themselves with 90% of their fresh vegetables and so forth.
That's right.
Everything was there, was ploughed back into your garden.
That's right.
There was no artificial stuff, but the true manure, wasn't it?
What about street lighting? When did that come?
That was gas.
Yeah,
that
it
was
used to be
fairly
gas.
early.
That was.
And then it changed to electricity. What, after the Second World War?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, because I can remember Mum, when electricity first came, if you could afford it, you had to buy your own to have it put in, because Mum, I can remember Mum buying hers down the High Street in Amlicott, and then they brought it in as everyone
Yes.
there, and nationalised.
And of course the streets were dirt. They weren't hard
No.
metal like they are now.
When did they surface the High Street?
I don't know.
I suppose that was done first, but all the side roads were...
I know, and when we used to have the hot summers, the water cart used to
Used
come
to
out
go
drawn by the
round.
horses, and they used to have the water
Sprinkler.
to lay the dust, sprinkler, to lay the dirt and the dust on for when it's hot. We've got the genuine hot summers then. They were guaranteed you knew whether you were going to have to the
Yes, I was thinking
seasons.
this morning we had far more dry summers. I
Yeah.
don't know that they were hotter, but they were certainly
Well,
drier.
you knew where you were with those. You knew where you were. I mean, you knew sort of at Wits, and that was it for your winter clothes was going away until about September. And then you started getting into a bit of autumny clothes, and then we had the snow at Christmas, which we should do, but which we don't, we seem to get it all over it now anyway.
The canal used to freeze over, didn't it?
Oh,
That's
yes.
done many a time.
George would
Yes.
know about that, dear. If you look
What
at
were
his
you
eye,
up
he's
to,
got a
George?
scar.
What were you up to on the canal?
In one word, he was playing truant
I
in
was a
Sunday
naughty
school.
boy. Oh, you go down to Sunday school at the Plymouth Methodist, see? And that was all froze over. They were sliding out. I don't know what we'll go down. Of course, we went down, then we was sliding along. And I went sliding along, and as you got to the end, see, it sort of turned. And my foot went out, and the eyes come up and hit me eye.
That's his story.
Boy, I went down, bang, I hit, flipped my eye out. I went that one or the other.
Yeah, there was
Jimmy
forever.
showed up it time.
Yeah.
All across there, and they would all come round to see what was the matter and that, and all of a sudden they all
Crack.
scattered.
It's
I
all
was cracking. Anyway, I come back up.
He was more afraid to go home to face our mum than he was what he'd
Wait a
done.
minute, come back up home. You know where next to Wilmot's, there's a shop there, isn't it? Not which is now.
Yes.
Didn't it used to be no?
That was a baker's shop.
Then
What,
Nurse Sherwood used to live in.
Oh, she was in a private house.
hang on,
She was working
Reg
privately.
Hedges used to come round with the bread from,
Harris's.
no, this
Yes,
other
he
shop
did.
I'm thinking of.
Oh,
Um,
you know Harris's, he worked for years.
Glory Hallelujah, whatever was their name. But there was a baker's shop there. No, I know who I'm thinking of, Martin. Sid Martin?
Sid Martin, he worked for Bats.
Was that a bat shop one at the top as well?
Where John Smith's is?
Yes.
Yeah, that was Bats.
That's
We done
right.
that one, we
Yes,
said that one.
that's right.
Because
No, we're-
Ernie Cully used to work there
No,
with
where
Sid
I'm
Martin.
on about now, Nurse Sherwood and Jimmy Ball the Chimney Squeak, they lived in there, didn't they?
Yeah, but they were in their private
Yeah,
homes,
private.
that was.
Well,
That
that's
wasn't.
where I go over to see Nurse Sherwood just over the road. And she done it all up, you see. And then she come over the next day to see how I was. Oh, she said, I got something out to cure you. She said, do you like fish? I said, yes. And just the old spoon in and more. What's name? More. Cod more. Put that in. I started checking, she got on me nose.
So curve, you're right.
Yeah,
But what was
yeah.
the canal like in those days? Were boats going out?
It was
No.
cleaner,
Oh, no.
No boats.
but it was cleaner, wasn't it?
Well, I wouldn't say it was cleaner
Well-
in inverted commas. There
I forgot
was a
that.
lot more vegetation and flowers and plants growing in it than there
Because-
are now. Because, I mean, of course, there's a lot of oil there. We
And
just
it's
killed
funny,
them
going
off.
back to that, you know, it's been Carnival Week this week. I was only talking about it, somebody yesterday. They used to have water sports on
That's
the
right,
canal
you
where
can
the
say about
barges
that.
during Carnival Week. They used to have a greasy pole from one side to the other, didn't they? And they used to have pillow fights and they used to
Pillow
have to
fights
try
and
and
all,
walk on the greasy pole. Swimming for the children. It was a lot cleaner and better then than what
Sammy
it is
Pidgey
now.
got out, didn't he?
Yeah.
Do you remember back Max Barnes diving off top of the bridge?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
went in the mud.
Yes, yes. So it was, I say, much cleaner. It wasn't the weeds, it wasn't
Oh,
so...
God, no.
Then it must have silted up
so
later.
sorry?
Did it silt up later?
Well,
Oh, yes.
Yes.
only what come down from the
Because it
guttering,
was
see?
neglected.
Yeah.
Guttering straight down into the canal where you see all big heap of gravel.
I'm afraid to say, in those days, we had trustees that used to put themselves out for the town's entertainment, not like the ones now. Just thinking of that. I don't know whether you're a trustee or not, but I still say what I think. And they're only thinking of themselves now at the moment, I think, with this twinning and that. You know, they don't put themselves out for the town's entertainment for everybody. But in those days, everything was done, and the carnival, everybody used to get into it, put their heart into it, and really work
It's
hard.
very difficult, as towns grow bigger, it's very difficult to conserve that community spirit there.
Yes, but I should have thought from the records they could have took note of what used to happen and try and keep it. I know you can't keep it up to the standard as it used to be, because everything concerns money, it's dear and that,
Everything
but
getting
then there's different things they could get up, like Whit Monday. I mean, there's hardly anybody at home with a Whit Monday. On the common, they had horse racing,
The Feffies used to
motorcycle
organise it.
racing,
What they call Whit Monday
yeah,
sport.
games. You're up there the whole of the day, in which they
Who
all
organised it?
they used to get.
The Feffies.
Oh, yes, yes.
But they
What
don't.
was Patty Jessett? He was a big organiser of that, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, what was he?
And it invariably rained that weekend. Rained
And nobody worried. We
You'll
used
find
to just
in
go.
my book of photographs some snaps of Charnham Street and Bridge Street, one Whit Monday. The road is about so deep in water.
Yeah, that always got
Mm,
flooded,
yeah,
didn't
flooded,
it,
yeah.
down
Didn't they
there?
have an autumn fair too, harvest time or something?
Yes.
No, we used to have what they called the Michaelmas Fair at the High
Michaelmas
Street. We
Fair,
used to have the
yes.
fair 2 Wednesdays following,
That was
wasn't it?
before the 11th and after the 11th of
Of October.
September.
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was
So
October
one was a
Fair.
hiring fair and the
One
other
was a
one was a
Michaelmas
Michaelmas
Fair, yes.
That
And
used
that
to go
in the
from
streets.
top of the town right down to the
Bridge
canal
Street.
bridge.
And that was
Bridge.
done because Mr. Edwards, the fairman, was born in the caravan down the town, wasn't he? So he had the right, no other fair was allowed to come in. They gave him the right to only be him. Then when he died, they wouldn't let nobody else
Well,
out
I
because
think-
that ruling was made. And so we never have a fair now,
Yeah,
you
but
see.
they say when he died, a lot of people didn't come on the ground as they used to.
They
have.
wouldn't allow it.
Some did come back in,
Yeah, but they
and
wouldn't.
then they gradually
stop.
died out because they never took the ground over that year,
Mm.
see? And there's the income.
Mm.
And then of course
Because
the
I tell you,
traffic
who was the
course.
last to
Yes,
come
I-
down there? Jimmy Black on the coconut show, right on the
Was it?
Church
Yeah,
corner,
I know.
yes.
They gave Edwards the right
That's
to,
right.
just him to come.
But of course, they don't allow a lot of these street fairs now because of the traffic.
Traffic
Well, yeah,
troubles.
yeah, with that you could
Well,
understand.
you go up and down there, you
But-
have
This is
But
only
before
finished
they had
years
the-
ago.
Before they had the fairs in the High Street, they used to have them in the Croft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we used to have a cattle market down the high street as well, and think of it, didn't we?
Yeah.
Market, cattle market, with all the pens down
Did
all
that
down.
stop with the
So,
first of the war?
I think
For
that was
the war.
during the war, yeah.
Yeah.
It never was.
It never started again.
Mm,
The same with the market in the Corn Exchange, you see, that stopped during the war.
mm,
And
yeah.
although they tried to revive it, it
Mm.
didn't work.
And we used to have a fruit and veg market at Church Street, where that old chapel was. Somebody's got
It's
an antique.
flats now.
Yeah,
It's
there's an
flats.
antique place there in
Yeah,
the hall.
that's right.
Yeah, there used to be a market up in there every Wednesday. So I used to myself.
That was the old Wesleyan school many, many years ago. Yes.
Mm.